exploration into why you and your girl just can't relate. The world is tuned in to the voice of reason, blowing up the foxhole every Thursday evening. If your man is tripping, then talk to Zoe before you leave. Maybe y'all can make it work, and if not, he can tell you exactly how to tell him to kick rocks. Intelligence with lots of comedy. It's not your average show. It's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason on Foxhole Radio.
I wonder if you guys can hear me. Does it sound right? I always ask that. Does it sound right? You guys will let me know, right?
The voice of reason, an exploration into why you and your girl just can't relate. The world is tuned in to the voice of reason, blowing up the foxhole every Thursday evening. If your man is tripping, then talk to Zoe before you leave. Maybe y'all can make it work.
Come on now. I need your because before I can really get started, I need to know if everything is popping, if everything is right. You gonna dig? Are the beats? Let me see if I can play a beat real quick, and maybe the beat will tell you. But I don't want it to sound like the room. I want it to sound like the radio. Y'all got to let me know the difference. All right? If the beats is knocking and it sounds sonic and stereo and popping, that's what it is. You know, dig? It can't sound like the room, like you hearing the radio sitting in the corner somewhere. You know, dig? If it's right, let's see. You guys tell me. See, because to me, it's slaptastic in the headphones. All right, so let's get with it at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you're on the East Coast, that's 8 p.m. VOR Radio. Mansions will be the first show to air live on VOR Radio, Wednesday, August 28th. I need everybody to download the Dash Radio app. I need everybody to favorite VOR Radio. Shit about to be so lit tonight. We got homies coming through. We're gonna talk about a very serious topic that affects black men. Come on in. You know the business don't stop. Somebody want their show to get another replay. Sure. Let's see what else I got for you. You already know, man. I expect everybody to rock. Rock and roll with your brother Zoe Williams. So it's a conscious station. I'm looking for conscious content. Conscious content. Once you download that Dash Radio app, you gotta favorite 2 channels. You got a favorite VOR radio and you got a favorite Dash Talk X. I'm running both of those channels. Those gotta be your go-to channels. It's a new day. You know, dig? It's a new day. And when I say that, what makes a new day new? Does anybody know? The number to dial is 323-230-4610. What makes a new day new? What makes a new day old and or stagnant? Do you know? What makes a new day new? Okay, I need people to think in stereo. I said at 5 p.m., the button for VOR radio will appear on the app. It's not on the app right now. See, this is the problem with social media. Social media happens in an instant, and if you jump into the instant, you missed the instance before. So you come in always. Every time you go into a damn, oh, somebody's here right now. Every time you go into somebody's live stream, you're entering where you entered, but you're not entering at the beginning of this thing. So please understand, I've already said, here are the rules. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is 12:16 Pacific Standard Time. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what, 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. or something like that. The button will appear on the app. It is not on the app right now. Download the app, though. VOR radio button will appear. Can the mods help spread that word? Let's see who's on the line. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up? This is Deity. And y'all went off on me and said that I was rambling, and because I called you gay, or you and the guy.
Oh, that's you.
Yes.
We didn't go off on you. We were trying to walk you through a process. And we weren't disrespectful. I went back and listened to it. And on top of that, I didn't have. Look, watch this. You're not going to hang up. That's hold. Hello? You there?
No, I don't know why it hung me up. Or maybe it was just the phone line. It just hung up. So it's good, though. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm excellent. I'm excellent. That was the question.
For instance, this situation right here. The last time we spoke, it was a little misunderstanding.
The Gemini, right? You're Gemini.
Absolutely. Exactly, and we're a perfect example of that.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. It's all good. Listen, you can call in anytime. Hopefully, you could get a little bit more familiar with our shows and the humor and the insight and what we do. So when you do call in, you won't call in midstream and maybe assume that we're talking about something or miss. Sure.
Okay, so you do understand that there is, and this goes into the whole New Day theme, right? Because, back in the days, black families were coordinated. It seems as though we're not in tune with each other. You got men we're not coordinated. So what would you recommend for that to change for us as a people?
First off, I would do this. I think a lot of the reasons why we're not coordinated and organized is because largely we're broke. And when I say we're broke, I don't mean just financial. So again, you got to understand something about the human mind, anyway. The human mind creates reality out of fantasy. That's the highest thinkers of us. We create reality out of fantasies. But if you've been stripped of your knowledge of self, if you've been stripped of all of these things, the only level of existence you have within an illusion is that of an animal, of a beast.
Now, let me ask you this. So you did agree, well, you didn't specify, but you didn't go against it. You didn't say anything in regarding it. So you do agree that at one point, black people were, we were more unified at one point, especially black families. You do agree with that notion?
I do.
Okay, so you said that we're broken, right?
Right.
So where was the break? Where did the break happen, and what is the break, in your opinion, as an older black male? Because like I told you, I'm in my 20s, so I don't mind asking questions and learning because I don't know everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know enough just based on being a black person, being a black female, being a black young woman, and seeing what I see from young people and old people. From being from a city like Miami and then, living in places like D.C. and Georgia and seeing how black people in different areas act and function. So I'm able to kind of, get an understanding of that from my own personal experiences, but you've lived.
I mean, we're the oldest beings on planet Earth. Are you talking about the transatlantic slave trade, that break? Are you talking about...
Okay, so when you say that we were at one point connected, are you talking about as far as like with the 70s or further back?
That's how feminism came in the 70s with women's liberation and separated the black family.
Right, so I didn't specify which generation or which point, but what...
You talking about here in America?
The so-called descendants of slaves, or the descendants of slaves, yeah.
Women's lib and feminism. I mean, come on. The founder of feminism was an FBI agent. We know that.
Right.
We know that. And that was a design to break up. Women could come out. You only needed one income to take care of a family. One income could send kids to college. Now produce, especially to pay for the things that one, that diving worth of the dollar needed two incomes to be able to do that. And with the independence of the woman, especially whenever the white woman does something in America.
Right. For white women, even if it's at a subconscious level, as far as like even with the weave, talking again, referencing the new day, old day thing. Black women at one point used to wear their natural hair. Now in this new day, black women still do in some cases wear their natural hair, but people are accustomed to seeing black women do aspire to that, and a lot of black men like white women or like Europeanization. It's a break mentally, in my opinion, spiritually, and like you were saying earlier, we don't know who we are. Now let me ask you this, because I wanted to ask you this before the phone got disconnected last time. What race are you?
I'm black.
What's your race? That's a color, but what's your race? What do you identify with?
I don't identify with nothing but black. I'm right here, born in Chattanooga. I'm black.
Okay,
but
well,
let me come back and clear something up that you just said. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. YouTube family, I see you guys talking about the internet and it's choppy. That's because I was just on Wi-Fi. I'm sorry. I just plugged in the Ethernet cable. So your feed should be a little better. You should be able to see me a little bit clearer. I'm sorry. I apologize. Tell me if the feed is better. Now, let me go back to what the young lady said. Nothing in America, and somebody could say ADOS, American descendants of slaves. I could smoke a bag of that. Some of my Moorish friends would be like, nah, you not black. Black is a crayon color, and that's a status, and this and that. Whatever. Okay, hey, ADOS, Moorish, whatever you want to call it. It's fine. Black, African American. Listen. Like sisters who have the Negropean look, blonde hair and all this other shit. This is what you have to do as a young woman when in this, when presenting your arguments, when framing your points. You cannot frame them from an imbalanced space. Anything that happened to black people in America at the hands of oppressive white people affect both black men and women. So to present
Correct.
your argument from the space of, and many black men
aren't walking around with weaves, so I was giving a differentiation as to how that effect took to both the male and the female perspective.
But I'm talking about in general. I'm using that as an example, right? That point. I'm using that as an example. There must be balance. Black men are affected differently by white supremacy than black women. They're different
Correct.
manifestations of the same disease. So a lot of times when we frame our arguments against each other, you want to talk about, why we go at each other and why we go against each other. Because a lot of times we think the black man or the black woman is the cause of what's happening to us. No.
Right, and those are for coons and people who don't even like themselves to begin with due to the sickness, which is self-hatred, which stems from slavery and so forth. My thing is, and this is just my perspective.
Wait. Before you go on a tangent, just understand that you cut me off.
Oh, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No, I was not done, but you were ready. And I want you to be aware of when you're ready to speak. See, I teach radio, and there's an etiquette to radio. This is why I had to put you on pause the other day, on mute, because you were so ready to speak. See, part of community actively listen, even to things that we don't agree with. You have the floor.
Personal opinion. First and foremost, this is not to say that what you're saying is right or wrong. This is your personal opinion. But to call ourselves just black in this day, because again, this goes back to what you were referencing earlier. We were called as a race of people Negro on some people's birth certificates, and I was surprised to find this out recently. Some black people that were born in maybe around your time, on their birth certificate, it says Negro. So it weren't.
No, not on my birth certificate.
Range. I don't, So some people's range or birth certificates. some people just simply say black. Mine, because I'm from Miami, I don't know if it's different in certain parts of the world, like in further parts of the South or the North, but mine don't say anything. And maybe that may be because of when I was born, but, calling ourselves black, simply just calling ourselves black, is a disservice to us, because you have black, they say anybody that's melanated. That's far from true. Like, we are a different group of people. We were enslaved that happened to get, picked up from Africa, and the other Africans sold us off just because it was for money and for business purposes. We are, and because we don't know that, and act in ways of self-hatred because they don't have pride in who they are. People want to keep talking about Egypt, kings and queens, and we're not Egyptian. And even by the logic of the African slave trade...
Bring it.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't finish what you said. Don't cut me off.
Hold on. Bring it down just a taste. You're getting a little
sorry,
riled
I'm
up.
just passionate. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just passionate.
Yes. I'm listening.
Even by way of the African slave trade, if we use that logic, right? Black people came from the west coast of Africa. So why do we... I'm not trying to separate myself.
Let me ask a question. You just said black folk came from the west coast of Africa.
By the logic of the African slave trade. I didn't finish making my point, though.
I was just trying to understand what you were saying.
So-called black people. Keep it basic. So black people claim, by the logic of even by that logic, the fact that you still have, and Cleopatra and all of this, that is insanity, because you're trying to from Nigeria.
People of today, those people of today have been Arabicized.
Considered Egyptian either way, because we didn't, according to the so-called African American slave trade, we didn't come from the west coast of Africa. I mean, the east coast. We didn't come from the northeast part of Africa.
Right.
So,
but there was a slave trade there too.
I'm sorry?
I said, but there was a slave trade. Let me jump in here for a second.
Sure.
This is not a soapbox. Wow.
Basically talking about what you were saying with the new day and what makes a new day.
Right. I'm going to say this. Homo sapien. What you're talking about are nationalities and not ethnicities. Ethiopian is a Greek word. Ethiops, land of burnt skin, renamed by Greek settlers. Egypt, Egyptos. That place.
And Nigerian was renamed by Romans.
Of course, but that place, that of original man. Elijah Muhammad will say the original man, right? Because I just want you to listen as I do, okay? But you're still here. Elijah Muhammad would call it the original man. At the end of the day, you ask why we're disaggregate as a people. Nationality disaggregates us. Whatever you claim becomes your identity. The ninth letter in the alphabet is I. I is Greek, ego. Ego must be defended. Nationality is an outgrowth of ego. You ask why we're not together, why we're not unified. One man, Homo sapien, came out of Africa. One man, Homo sapien. Now later, tribes, nationalities, city-states, all this other shit starts to manifest. Now we fighting against each other because they are from this tribe and they're from that tribe and they're from that city state and they're from that nationality. Bottom line is one people. One people populated the planet, the globe. Your first European, black. Whatever black means. It could be more, tawny, whatever term you want to, whatever term you want to use. Nubian, Kedar, whatever you want to use. Bottom line is, we populated the planet. 75,000 years ago, you get your first DNA marker of the African stepping foot into India. The root of India, black. Period. The Aboriginals from Australia. Austra just means southern. This is why when they found the bones of the 2 million year old Australopithecus ape, Australo-southern ape, Australopithecus that they renamed Lucy, right? You go down to those Aboriginals, we already know those Aboriginals in the South Pacific got there by boat. Who was on that boat? Was it a Hebrew? Was it an Egyptian? Was it a Sumerian? These are nationalities. There is a difference between nationality and ethnicity. The ethnic breakdown of black is foundational to the human being. Period. We're the first everywhere. Know the difference. Let me see if she's still here. Are you there?
Hey, I'm still here. You know, I'm going to still be here. I'm not going nowhere unless I got to go and you got to go, but I'm still here.
All right. But, you have a tendency to interrupt while I'm talking, so I had to put you on mute. But now the floor is yours. I'll put myself on mute as you talk.
Okay, no problem. So, that's nationality is different, right? So our nationality would be considered American. A black person in Haiti's nationality would be considered a Haitian. But we are still a different group of people as far as black Americans, Caucasians, Caucasoids, if you want to call them Mongoloids, Chinese people, and even how because I'm not sure if you read the Bible. I don't know. I'm not a Christian by any means. I'm a very spiritual person. But if we go back to biblical terms, which is again a different day, keeping on code with your topic, the Jews, the so-called Jews, not the so-called Jews, but the actual Jews were different from the Egyptians or the Africans. We were a different group of people. But my whole point of saying all of what I'm saying is that the reason why we are connected.
How, Sway? How? How are they two different groups of people? I need you to explain that to me.
How is who two different people? Two different
Egyptians and Hebrews.
Because we were not them. We're not an Egyptian. There was a difference between the Egyptians and the Hebrews, just like the Asians that are Indian, because Indians are considered Asians. They're not Chinese. They're not the same as Chinese people. We're different. They're considered Asians, but they're not the same. Mm-hmm. So
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And your evidence for that is what?
Phenotype, spirituality, the mannerisms, the whole thing, the person, the people. We're not the same as a Caucasian.
So let me ask you, what is, I'm just talking specifically Hebrew, Egyptian. What's the difference between the phenotype between an ancient Hebrew and an ancient Egyptian? Do you have this knowledge?
So the phenotype is similar. We look very similar to Africans. We don't look identical. Even Africans in Africa don't look the same. There's a differentiation between them, even in their physical attributes. If you look at an so-called Black American or African American, as you want to call it, some of us don't. Some of us look African. Some of us don't. But Africans do have a very distinct look. Now, I can go through different groups of Africans and tell you how they look different from us. Like Nigerians are on average, depending on if you're talking about the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Hausa Fulanis, the Delta State, they all have a different look from each other.
Do you know why? Because you haven't answered that yet.
It has something to, right. Well, people could say that it has something to do with climate, but these are different groups of individuals that are in Africa. They were not enslaved people.
So let me answer the question, because you're not answering it, because maybe you just don't have the answer. And I think sometimes that's okay to not have the answer. It's okay to be able to just say, you know what, I don't know. And you know, there are many times where I don't know.
I did. But go.
Right? So it's okay to say, I don't know. And I'm going to tell you, the answer to the reason why Africans look so different, you know, is genetic diversity. There's more genetic diversity in the African than there is in any other form of human being. Genetic diversity. There are Africans with thin lips. There are Africans with big lips. There are Africans with big noses. There are Africans with thin noses. So to say that the phenotype is different between a Hebrew and an Egyptian. See, again, those are nationalities. Those are tribes. Those do not deal with ethnicity. One human being came out of Africa nearly 200,000 years ago. One human being, the modern human, Homo sapien sapien. He was not an Egyptian, because that country wasn't formulated yet. It wasn't established yet. He was not a Hebrew. You go to the Hebrews, that's what? At best, 6,000 years ago? We talking about the first human being stepped out of Africa 200,000 years ago. Do you see how we getting pimped by a book that is young in comparison to our ancient legacy?
Hello?
Yeah, you here?
Okay, so the main difference is the fact that of the so-called African American slave trade. Why were we enslaved and they weren't? Can you answer that question?
Wait, let's not move all the way up to modern times, because the slave trade is technically modern times if you're looking at our history.
Right, but I'm speaking on the differentiation between us and them. It, like I said,
there is no us.
Said what you said.
There is no us and them.
There are phenotypes that are very similar, and they're different even in the African diaspora.
No.
But that does not mean that we are African because we look similar to some of those people.
Hold on. There is no us and them. There's just us. Have you studied Runoko Rashidi?
No.
The ancient African presence in Asia. Asia is just an Arabic word, Asia, which means east. That's it. The nigga went east and set up countries and traditions. We are Buddha. We are Krishna. We are all of those ancient Asian belief systems. We are the foundation of it. We are. We are Egyptian. We are Sumerian. We are Phoenician. That's us. All of it. We're African. We're Egyptian. We're Songhai. We're Dogon. We're Yoruba. We're Ifa. We're all that. It's all us. All of it. Have you ever studied the brother Credo Mutwa?
No.
Out of South Africa, a Sangoma, one of the last Sunusis. That brother said every belief system in Africa is related. From South Africa, West Africa, East Africa, Central Africa. They're all related. They're the same beliefs, just told differently. He said the ancient Egyptian comes from South Africa. So does the Nile. It flows.
So let me ask you this.
Hold on. Put you on mute. Because we got to listen first. Look up Credu Mutwa. He's 98 years old. Do you understand? He's 98 years old. He's tied all of Africa together in terms of origin, spirituality, belief systems. One man created the confusion. Let me say it another way. I love one of my favorite philosophers, Krishnamurti. Krishnamurti said, it is conceptual thinking that keeps men separate. A tribe is a concept. It's a philosophy. A nation is an idea. America is a concept. You take America. It's a concept. It's an idea. The idea of democracy. The idea of the republic. For the people, by the people. These are concepts, not ethnicities. Most of the white people here, all of the white people here in America have European ancestry. Oh, Polish, German, Italian, whatever. But when you say, what are you naming when you say German, Polish, Austrian, Norwegian? You're naming borders. It's conceptual thinking that keeps people separate. Borders keep people separate. Fences. But if you take down the fences, what are you dealing with? All Caucasian people, white people. Okay.
Okay, so wait a minute. You got to let me finish my point, because when I'm talking, you cut me off. But when you say something...
Show the proper respect or you will not be allowed to talk. I'm going to listen to you. But if you do not show the proper respect, tone, and delivery, I will not let you talk on this platform. You want to talk? Show the proper respect. Here you go.
The thing is that by your logic, what you're saying is that black people are Chinese, Egyptian, all of these things, except for who they actually are. That's a form of confusion. Every other race is above, or ethnicity, nationality, whatever you want to call it, right? These people are above the so-called black Americans in America, Africans, Chinese people who worship that Buddha that you're talking about, East Indians, all of the Asian diaspora people. All of these people are over the black Americans in this country. They come to a country that we built, and they managed to succeed rapidly, while we as a collective are still at the bottom. And even when you do have good corporate jobs, or when black people have good corporate jobs, so-called black people as you call it, have good corporate jobs, they're still getting treated horribly on the job. But to go back to your initial point, when I asked you what race you were, you said black. You said black from some part of, the United States, but you didn't specify what you were. You said black. So now you're saying that you're black, which means you're Egyptian, you're Nigerian, you're a Buddhist monk. That's not rational. That's a confused person trying to identify with everybody and everything but who you truly are.
Now let me stop you. Now let me stop you. Now let me stop you. You're confused. You are confused. I am not. You're talking about modern day people coming here taking resources from American descendants of slaves. That's one argument. The people who are put in front in a Chinese culture, right? That's a nationality, Chinese. But if you do your research, the Chinese man believed that, hey, the out of Africa theory is a lie. So I'm going to do my own research to prove that all Chinese people come from the Peking man, another ancient fossil that was found. Once he did the research, he found out that the billion people in in China, within just the borders of China, the billion people found in China alone descended from the African pygmy, the Twa, the oldest people on earth. See, you keep going back to the nationality and geopolitics that represent themselves in power today. I'm not confused when I say Buddha was a black man. Black meaning descended out of Africa. I'm not confused when I say that. Buddha created Buddhism. I'm not confused about that. See, again, Asia is a direction for me. Asia, East. Do you understand? You keep wanting to be confused because you believe what you believe and you refuse to accept new information. I've already told you there's a distinction between ethnicity and nationality. The nationality talk going on in America has been the problem for black people for the most part when it comes to getting any type of recourse from this government. Well, who represents y'all? What country stands behind y'all? Is there a country that's going to enforce whatever treaty we had with y'all? That's what you talking about, nationality. But you keep overriding the point that I'm talking about. The black man. I would say the black woman. Older than every nationality on the planet Earth. Older than every religion on the planet Earth. Older than every tribe on the planet Earth. I'm trying to give you context, but you want to jump to slavery 400, 500 years ago. You want to jump to the American slave trade. You want to skip over the Eastern slave trade that was run by Moors. You want to skip over the fact that there were Moors involved in the Western slave trade. And that sex trafficking today has grown out of ancient slavery. And black people put black people in slave too. I'm not confused. You're just not well read enough. You haven't studied enough. And you still don't show the requisite respect that is deserved and earned by a man who's read over 4,000 books. You come in here speaking as if you're a peer. You don't come in here seeking knowledge. You come in here wanting to spread something that you're just beginning to understand. Patience with yourself. Don't seek out a pulpit or a soapbox until you've mastered your understanding of what it is you think you know. You still haven't gotten the disrespect for black men out your spirit, as is evidenced by our first encounter when you called a man you don't know a homosexual. And I pointed out, you can't talk to people any kind of way and expect them not to respond to you in kind. But I didn't respond to you in kind. I responded with respect. The brothers on the show responded with respect. Everybody was telling us, yo, you spending too much time talking to this girl. She not listening. She don't respect you. But we allowed you to disrespect anyway. I don't mind you calling in. I don't mind you sharing. But kind of know what you're dealing with. This is why at the beginning of this conversation, I said, look, have you studied any of the videos that we've already put out? Have you done any research on who I am? Have you read any of my books? If you don't know me, how can you stand on an equal footing with me? And vice versa. I don't know you. And just because you're 26 don't mean you're not an ancient soul. Doesn't mean I can't learn from you. But I can't learn through your disdain or your disrespect or your ignobility. The greatest of all teachers know how to humble themselves because they know they have to speak the language of the student. Now, I'm going to let you speak again. But I'm asking you to be respectful. Do the research. I'll put you on the path. You're on.
Okay, so I just want to say this. I wasn't being disrespectful. We're holding a dialogue, which means that I don't necessarily have to agree with you in order for that to be respectful.
If you're going to respond, let it be a response and not a reaction. Nowhere did I say it is requisite that you agree with me. I did not say that. Continue.
Hello?
Yes.
Listen, your name is Zoe, right?
That's me.
All right, Zoe, let's check this out, right? Let's have a cordial dialogue. I'm speaking my facts and my opinions, my beliefs, and you're speaking yours. We don't have to agree with each other, but that doesn't mean that you have to disrespect me because I'm not disrespecting you. I get that this is your show, and I respect that. I called in to talk to you because I think that you have some intellect. That's the reason why I'm holding an intellectual conversation with the person.
It is not intellectual. It's not. It's clever. Intellect is consciousness. Intellect challenges and judges itself. Right? You're talking to me, but you're unaware of you. To be intellectual is to speak to others while still being connected to the awareness of self.
Hello?
Yes.
Yo, this is hilarious. Yo, so is this a part of the comedy sketch?
This is not comedy.
Okay, so let me finish my point, right? So, again.
See? Are you only invested in your point? Or are you trying to learn?
I mean, we're talking. What is the problem here?
Are you trying to learn, or are you only invested in conveying your point?
No, I'm not looking at you as a teacher. No.
And therein lies your problem.
Oh, okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the line. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Omar. I'm calling from Ohio.
Hello?
What's happening? Yeah, you still here, home girl. Just chill. We got you.
Okay.
We got another caller.
Omar, this deity. How you?
What up, Omar?
Doing good, doing good. Good to be online with y'all.
How you been, man? Thanks for tuning in, bruh.
No problem. I was just checking out y'all show. It was very interesting to me.
This ain't even a show. This is like a.
I ain't know. I've seen it on the internet. I'll be checking out y'all show. So I just was interested in the commentary that was going on.
Hey, man, I appreciate you for calling in. Thank you so much. Are you going to tune in tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, man? Voice of Reason Radio launches live.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'll be listening.
All right, good brother. I appreciate you for calling in.
All right, have
All
a good
right,
one.
thank you. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling?
I man, Zoe, man, like the way you breaking down, and I see some of myself within you as well, and that requires growth. Listening, she's not well. I wouldn't even say listening, though. Comprehending what you're saying, like man, the content that you have put out, and for her to come at you like this, yes, ma'am, it's very disrespectful, sis. You're not even listening. You're not comprehending at all. You're being straight up disrespectful. But she don't see that. Her mind is still developing. Much from you, Zoe. So much just by listening. You and Dr. Mark Goldstein. Even just reading his book, reading your book. The understanding to comprehend takes patience. And sis, you fighting through a lot right now, and you're really not comprehending what Zoe's saying. Other than that, peace and love and blessings to you, sis. Zoe, keep doing what you're doing, family.
Thank you, brother. No, she's good people, man. She good people. If I didn't think she was good people, I wouldn't have her on the line. And that's all I can say. If I didn't think she was cool people, I wouldn't have her on. I don't even know this girl. But it's okay. Like she said, we don't have to agree. But that's a lost art in our community. You remember that old auntie that was psychic? You didn't have a regular conversation with her. You approached her with respect. In Africa, amongst the sensei, the sangomas, or the sanusis, the wise men, the shamans in our community, you don't approach them like whatever. You show them the proper respect due their station. So all my people talking about the internet and, all of that, listen, it's going to be good by the time we do tonight's show. Don't trip. All right? Don't trip. Let's see what else we got on the line right now. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from?
The internet and, all of that.
Hello?
Hey, turn your life down.
All right. Hi, Zoe. How's it going?
I'm good. What's happening? Who this?
This is Audio Soul. I actually follow you on Instagram.
Hey, what's happening? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I actually was just tuning in to the show, and I heard the young lady that you currently have on the line. Hi, young lady.
You want to say hi to her? Here we go. Say hi.
Yes.
Hello.
How you doing, Queen? Hi, how are you, sis? I'm good. That's good. So, I was listening to the dialogue, and it's very quick to say, you being a little disrespectful and everything, but, women, it's hard for us to really understand how to really respect men in a conversation such as you're having with Zoe. And to me, honestly, sis, what I felt is that he's right. You just need to research a little bit more. Have you heard of Shirazad Ali? No, I haven't. Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. If you really want to be able to be at a point where, or if I may share this with you, if you want to be at a point where you can really have a conversation with a well-versed man as though, like if you follow his channel, you understand that he understands more about things than most people really do. So one thing I would tell you is when you do want to maybe express with him or
to share this type of information with us. So if he's giving you that space to call in as well, then I personally think that at jump, you call him homosexual, that had to go. You know, I'm sure you got uncles and stuff and fathers around you that'll tell you can't play with a man like that. So if it's beyond that point, if it's just the information part that he's trying to really draw from you, you have to humble yourself. Hear what he's saying. And if from what I'm listening from you, it does sound like you have a lot of information pulled from a bunch of different places. See, the black man created every race. So for him to then be able to say, I can settle with just being identified as black man or black woman, is because we're the cream of the planet. You're the mother of civilization. So you created every race. So, you know, it's, for me as a listener, understanding where those coming from, I think you could just learn a little bit more. And I just suggest Shahrazad Ali because she speaks on how the main reason why black women can't hear what the black man is teaching to us or telling us is because we think we know it all. So I would just share that with you, and hopefully you can continue to learn more from the show.
I respect that, Queen. Thank you for your insight.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'm just taking a few more calls, and I'm going to come back to you, all right?
Okay.
All right, cool. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Just anonymous from VA.
What's happening, pimp?
And I just want to speak on what homegirl talking about right quick, and then I'm going to be out. So when she telling you all about the Hebrews and all that stuff, does she not know before that lineage even started, if you go back to the African religion, that they, if you go through the history timeline, they were actually the ones called the Canaanites. On top of that, when Cain got sent to the land of Nod is originally, the land now that they call Israel originally was the land of Nod. So according to the Bible that she's speaking on, her God sent someone to prepare the land for her people. So if she wants to talk about Hebrews and Jews and all that other stuff, it might be called Israel, but what was it before Israel? Before Israel, it was Nod. So that land of Nod belonged to the Canaanite people before it belonged to the Israelites. They just lost it, in a battle. When they lost it to the battle, which Jacob went to King Alexander, but a lot of that history stuff that you're speaking to her, she don't know about it. So she just got to calm her attitude down and go sit in the library for a little while.
Thank you for the call, brother. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right. Sister, would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, so I respect everybody's opinion. The thing is, do you mind if I go ahead and give my opinion, Zoe?
Go ahead.
Mr. Zoe?
Absolutely.
Professor Zoe?
Keep clowning. I'm going to cut this mic off again. Keep cutting up.
Okay, listen, so I respect all of their opinion. Going back to the queen who called earlier, she stated that everybody came from us. So with that concept, I'm not saying that it's not true to a small extent as to being the fact that we're the original people. I can't say that they came from us genetically. What that does is it creates this protection or this trying to understand why these people are who they are. Instead of coming together as a people, we try to sit there and understand why these why these white folks are the savages and the beasts that they are, and we try to empathize with them. We try to understand why these Chinese folks mistreat us and selling us all this garbage in our neighborhoods. We're trying to understand why these East Indians at these gas stations mistreating us, selling us this poison, being in our areas, just taking over everything that we should be running. That's the problem with thinking that everybody came from us. We are a special group of people, a different group of people, aside from these heathens and these Neanderthals and these cave beasts. You understand what I'm saying? And we have to understand that, because thinking with this concept that, they all derived from us, we're their parent, that's like we're looking at them as our child, but they've been spanking our ass, and we, to be honest, we are at the bottom in this system. So we need to stop looking at it like that. We need to know who we are. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole problem, is that we don't know who we are. We say we black, but then we say that all these people came from us. Come on, like, that makes no sense. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And just given the basic everyday situations that we go through. And I said the basic, not even on the extreme of us getting killed. You feel what I'm saying? But the fact that we don't own anything, the basic, the fact that we got to work for these crackers, the basic, these people are not us or of us. And we need to stop looking at it like that. Because with that logic, we hold empathy to our enemies. And these people are our enemies.
So let me stop you. Because listening to you talk, you hear bits and pieces of your potential, and then you hear fantasy. DNA doesn't lie. Those are our people. All of them. Period. So you can't say, in a small way, it matters, but it doesn't really matter because they come from us. No, they are us. And they've been educated. They've been indoctrinated. Don't forget, Africa, just like the African American quota, through colonialism. That's why fucking skin bleaching cream is the #1 selling product in the third world. So, again, I hear what you're saying, and there's a kernel of truth in it. Yes, those people have been conditioned to come over here and compete with us. Yes, I agree. But that don't mean they not us. That just means their mind is not theirs. Just like most black people in America, our mind isn't ours. You want to answer? You want to take some more callers? We have a lot of callers. They might want to talk to you.
Yeah, I don't mind talking to anybody and saying what's up, and if they but they need to be respectful though, like those other people.
You just learning how to be respectful.
Okay, Professor, though, sure.
Hold on. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what it do, Zoe, man? This is James out of North Tulsa, Oklahoma. What's cracking, Cali folk?
I'm good, man. What's happening?
Maintaining, man. I'm maintaining. I got to say, I like the way you brought little sister back in again, trying to give her some jewels and lace her up. Kind of funny she couldn't get all that lacing in her earlier show. Well, you know, that's what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Would you like to talk to her, brother?
There ain't really too much I can say to the sister, man. I mean, I learned from you, so what the hell is she gonna learn from me if she ain't learn from you? Real talk. But I got a question in an aspect of, I've been thinking on some things lately. I was that cat that called in, you said want all the smoke and all that, and there's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? It's more along the line to where I look at things as a health perspective. Because that's what I'm in, you know what I'm saying? I'm in health and wellness, and I've always viewed things from that perspective, which is where my righteous indignation comes from. Solely an objective perspective of viewing our situation and realizing that, yeah, we may be dealing with demons and viruses and all that other stuff and everything, but to me, it seems like once the decay has started, either the decay must finalize itself, and then something else must be done after that, or else you're trying to preserve a seemingly on its way to being a cadaver. And so I've been looking at with everything that's been going on over the years, doing research, reading, and all that, and I can see that the decay, any type of deterioration that's ever occurred with our people, has never really righted itself. So an aspect of what we're dealing with over here in the United States, it doesn't seem like anything is going to occur until a decay fully finalizes itself. And we're looking to see if we can sustain that which isn't to be sustained while over here.
And your question is what?
My question is there a way out of that? Because, I mean, it really just seems like the U.S. has a vendetta against us that we don't like to acknowledge. And in an aspect of the solution that we put forth towards that, it always seems to be something that still goes along with the same anti-black viral system.
Okay. I think you made that a little bit more complicated than it had to be. Let me just say this.
Right.
Farrakhan has been teaching for 50 years. And although I don't agree 100% with everything Farrakhan says, that is one of, my mentors. I love Farrakhan. I love the teaching of unity. At the bottom line, it's unity. It's unity. You got a minority on the planet dominating the whole planet because they're organized and unified. You got a majority on the planet arguing about who the chosen is. Do you see the mind fuck? Do you see the mind fuck?
I see it. I
the end.
See
listen, the beginning and end to your question with regards to answering it is unity, collaboration, cooperation. Well, we can't collaborate, cooperate, and unify unless we respect. Well, you can't respect unless you're thoughtful, which means consider. You can't consider unless you're considerate and thoughtful and thinking of people, right? We don't regard each other highly enough in order to reach a level of unification. See, white folk.
But in the aspect.
Let me tell you this. White folk regard their position in the world. They're not giving up that position. So even if they don't like each other, they're going to say, no, our position in the world is what matters. They are the minority in the world. All over the world is black. You do some research on the beauty pageants. The beauty pageants other countries put on, they put their lightest and closest to whitest out to represent them. Argentina, Brazil, Chile, the Philippines. But you go to those countries and you look at those people black as hell. African, you see the features, you see everything. But they cling to the flag and not the DNA.
Right.
The DNA tells you, just like that Chinaman. That scientist said, I don't believe Chinese people are African. He did his own DNA research. There's over 1 billion people in China, damn near 2 billion. He found out 90% of them are from African pygmies. His research shored up the research that is predominant right now. And you know what that is? The out of Africa theory. Everybody came out of Africa. And here we are, no different than Bloods and Crips, fighting over concepts, fighting over colors, fighting over land we don't own. Man, come on. Come on, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate the call, man. But to answer your question, without all that psychobabble, unity. But no unity without regard. No regard without first finding worth within oneself.
But therein lies the issue to the equation. We exist in an environment that is perpetually anti-black. They make billions and billions of dollars after putting our culture out there, which subconsciously interacts with our people, giving them no worth, little to no worth. Okay, we already know this is why they purchase.
So listen,
as they do.
So stop, because you're justifying our condition. Yet you found me. Am I? Do I look like I'm affected by that?
Zoe, you can't put yourself in the same realm.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Because I'm. Yes, I can. Because I'm one of y'all.
You had your light, and you've been working on your light, bro.
But listen. The fact that. How hard it is. But listen, brother. Listen. The fact that I exist means it's possible. We could collapse that vector. I exist. If I exist, so can 1 billion other niggas like me. Am I right or wrong?
Appreciate the game, cuz.
All right, man.
All right.
You have something to contribute?
Absolutely. So, I think dude was a little bit scared to disagree with you because your chat is like real ruthless, but I could give a damn less. They could, you know what I mean? Respect is respect at the end of the day. Everybody should be able to have their opinion. But the reality is you asked him, do you look affected, affected by the system of white supremacy? We, as black people, all are affected. I'll give you an example. My dad is an accountant, CPA. My mama was a school teacher, and my sister is the associate director of the VA in Oregon in an all-white area. Like, just because you are making it financially in this system doesn't mean that you are a...
Be quiet. No assumptions will be tolerated. Nobody said I'm making it financially. That in religion is called exegesis. Adding in your own assumptions to make shit make sense to you. If you're going to talk, you must speak from a place of fact. I didn't say nothing about making it financially. Now you can continue.
So I can continue? Can you at least warn a sister when you put me on hold like that?
No, because I'm not going to tolerate the bullshit guised as intelligent speak.
Okay, but see, that's your opinion. But let me say this.
Okay, no. See, no. Part of being an adult is accepting when you're incorrect. Can you accept that you assumed?
You are hilarious, yo. You ain't for real. You can't be for real with this. This is very entertaining, but the point that I'm saying, and that
you're not gonna acknowledge what I'm talking about?
I don't agree with what you just said, because that has nothing to do with me.
So you didn't assume that I meant that I was financially well off? Because that's not what I said.
You asked this man.
I said, was I affected?
Do you look affected?
Right.
The only thing that we can see, we don't know you. We can only see.
You don't know.
Right?
That caller knows. You're the only one. Listen,
because he got off the phone.
You're the only. Listen, no, he wasn't
You know?
scared. What in the world? He wasn't scared. See, you assuming about him too.
I'm not assuming. I'm
you know
listening.
what? This is what you gonna do
have
for a
common
minute.
sense.
You gonna chill for a minute. Hold on. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller. All right, fuck it then. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller.
Affected.
You look affected.
Hey, turn your life down. Turn your life down.
Hello.
What's up, man? Speak on it.
Hey, how you doing, Zoe? You good?
I'm good, bruh.
Okay, yeah, I was just hearing on the show too, man, and basically, my input as far as what the sister was talking about with the state of white supremacy in this country or whatnot. I just wanted to speak on something a little bit same concept, but a little bit different. Nobody really discussed that this is a system of design, meaning that I honestly think that it is above us as humans, meaning that how do we know that this isn't really set up the way it's supposed to set up? We're all imperfect, correct?
Right.
Every single human on this earth is imperfect. So if every single human being on this earth is imperfect, that means that it is without question that we're going to mess up. We're going to mess up a lot, and we're going to continue doing it. And nothing has changed since human beings been on this earth. All I'm saying is that once you live in an imperfect system, which that's what we live in, nothing is treated fairly. Therefore, nothing will change. I mean, that might be a hard pill to swallow, and it's not a black or white thing. It's just more of a morality human thing. It's we're going to fight black and white or whatever color for the, and then also, just as far as us being black in America, that doesn't have to do anything with us and our adversities in life. It just has to do with us being human. That's just it. That's my opinion. I don't know. What do you think?
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Let's see who else we got over here. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, man? This Dupree from Nashville, man.
Dupree from Nashville. Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir.
This ain't even a show. This is just like me Sound checking. What's happening, man? What's going on?
Yo, man, like I've been a long time listener, bro, forever, man. I'm from like I said, I'm from Nashville, and I wanted to share a story with you, man, like a quick story that happened to me. Like I encountered this woman, and she spoke absolute truth to me, and I've still been trying to digest this, like sensations I've been getting lately, cause I talked to her, and she was talking to me. Like my body started vibrating like super high, like she was giving me information, and I was like, I've never experienced such a thing before. I was wondering, like, have you ever experienced somebody giving you absolute truth that made you feel some type of way within your body, in your soul, or whatever?
She gave you absolute truth.
Yo, like I'm trying to. Okay, for example, she was telling me we did my numbers or whatever. She found out I was 11. Or whatever, and so as we could continue to talk, or whatever, she started breaking down like the universe, like the universal, like there's a bunch of universal stuff, and she had put me like, okay, I made eye contact with this woman. This is a dark skinned woman, long dreadlocks, blue eyes. So we sitting here talking, and I'm like, I'm slowly feeling myself like fading. So, I turned away from her, and next thing you know, it felt like I'm tripping, like on a shroom trip. Like, I'm looking at everything vividly. Everything is, like, clear. Like, I understand so much. So I'm looking at her like, how is she doing this to me? So as she started spilling, like absolute truth, as in, like the universal truth of stuff, my body just kept vibrating. I couldn't understand the sensation. And she was telling me, she was like, she was just sitting there just normally, and she's like, she said that's equivalent of you getting the Holy Ghost. She was like, she said you're not vibrating on my frequency. So, you know what I'm saying? So as we continue to speak or whatnot, she said she had to talk to me on my understanding. So as I'm listening to this woman speak, it's like she's speaking in like perfect rhythm. Like I've never heard no shit like this in my life. Like she's speaking in perfect rhythm, and I understand her absolutely. So as I was understanding her absolutely, like my body kept shaking like crazy, because it's like she was like, you're resisting like the information I'm giving you. That's why you shaking like that. So I'm like, I don't know, like I thought it was like a really intense experience I had with this woman, and I was wondering, like, have you ever experienced anything like that or something close to that? Or I don't know, I thought I was tripping, because I've never in my life had been like across a woman like with that level of like, I don't know, it was like some mythical shit. Like it was crazy, man. It was so intense. So I was just wondering, like, have you ever experienced something like that, or have you met somebody that can like literally put you in like a whole nother mindset just by looking her in the eyes? Like I feel like I literally was like tripping, like a shroom trip or LSD or something. Like I've seen things vividly, clearly, everything. And my visual got better. My hearing was crazy.
Let me just jump in here. Like,
yeah,
I can't know what you experienced. That's your experience. I can't know it. I can't understand it. I can't grade it. I can't categorize it. All I know is we as a people have always had the ability to divine, the ability to tap into deeper, awareness. And it manifests itself differently for different people.
Right.
So, like I said, I can't give you any breakdown on what your particular experience was, because that was your experience and it was for you.
Right.
Some could argue and say she was using NLP on you.
What is that?
Neuro linguistic programming. It's an ability to talk to one's subconscious while they are awake. It happens to us when we watch television commercials. This is why television commercials are programmed to be louder than the actual program you're watching. And then the way the words are used and how they're phrased speak directly to our fucking subconscious. We might not be hungry, but we see the Wendy's commercial and go, well, goddamn, let me go get a sandwich. She could have been using neuro-linguistic programming. That's on the charlatan side. But on the real side, she might have been authentic.
And she was like responding to my thoughts as I was thinking them out loud. It was like
But how many cues did you give her? I'm not saying she wasn't authentic. What I'm saying is there are certain things that we are unaware of. The FBI calls them tells, right? These certain tells, body language, facial expressions that could lead people who are skilled in that area to tell you what it is that you're thinking. And it seems mystical. It might not be.
Yeah. Cause I was trying to figure out, like, we like pretty much the same age, and she just hit me with that shit, and I was like, man, that's just unreal shit that happened. So yeah, I see what you're saying though.
I'm just saying it could be true and it could not be. I'm not in a position to ascertain which one.
Exactly, I feel you.
All right.
Man. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that, Zoe.
Absolutely. What in the name of Saskatchewan chicken? Well, let me see. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, main event 804, straight out of Richmond, Virginia.
What's happening?
What's going on, man? I ain't been catching all of the conversations because I've been listening to the ringtone trying to get you. But I was wanted to go back to what the young lady was talking about when y'all was having y'all little intellectual argument. Well,
would you like to talk to her?
Yeah, let me holler at her real quick.
Let me see if she's still here. Let's go. Deity, are you there? Hello? Well, maybe she's gone. Maybe we lost her, brother. Maybe we lost her.
It's all good, but man, I just wanted to drop my little 2 cents in the bucket if you don't mind.
Go ahead, brother.
I mean, my mom got 3 sisters. All her sisters had girls. So I already know how, most women do when they get to talking and saying, well, all you got to do is, all we need to do is, I understand all that. It used to make me angry as a black man because couldn't nobody relate to me. But then I stumbled across Dr. Joy DeGroot. You know what I mean?
Amazing sisters. Amazing sisters. She was on this show.
Yes. And, she was trying to, convey the whole thought process of a person that has been through trauma and hasn't been able to deal with it, And that's all our people, has been going through for the last, 300 to 400 years. Because, everybody's been telling us, no, you're wrong. And then we turn that inwards and be like, well, we got to do better. And we are our own worst enemy. And look at Chicago and all that crazy shit,
Right.
So that's all it has. That's what all I see, man. And it's hard for me to be angry at my people. It's hard for me to hate my people, knowing what we have been through,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, brother, I appreciate you calling, man, and sharing, bro.
100. Yeah, I talked to you one time, man. I called you on your birthday, man. You gave me a little birthday reading and everything. I've been trying to get you ever since, but, salute to you, man. Do your thing, babe.
Good looking, fam. Hey, listen, y'all. It's 700 people in here. And I know not 700 of you have purchased both copies of my book. We're almost at 800. If every single one of you would do me that solid, Amazon.com has, I'll show you the sales if you want to see. Amazon.com has 3 versions of my book: Kindle, Audible, and paperback. Can we all go get a copy right now of The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship? Can we all do that right now? It's nearly 800 people in the chat. Can y'all do that? Everybody go to Amazon.com right now. You can also get The Holographic Relationship, my book that came out in 2019, February, Valentine's Day, 2019. It's on Amazon in Kindle form, but you can get the paperback version from me directly. These shows, and I know some people said I have gotten it, and yeah, I know a lot of people have gotten it, but I know 700, almost 800 people in here right now haven't gotten it. I know that for a fact. So I'm just asking, can we cash mob this thing? Because trust me, what y'all do for this platform moves us forward further than any other entity. You understand? I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. What y'all do for this platform, whether it be Super Chat, whether it be whatever, y'all move us forward. And when y'all fall back, the platform falls back. So I'm asking everybody, go to Amazon.com and get a copy of one of those books. All right? I'm going to get these phone lines today cracking. So let's see who's on the line. Caller, you're on the line.
Hey, what's going on, Zoe? Sean from Atlanta.
Sean from Atlanta. What's the deal?
Oh man. Listen, I know she's not on the line anymore, but either she got to be a plant from some of these feminist groups, or she's auditioning for her own show. She want to follow him because it's clearly she was being very passively disrespectful and overtly disrespectful. Clearly. That's what I wanted to say to her. I wish she was still on the line.
Well, hey, listen, this is not about, jumping on her or nothing like that. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. Some people have their beliefs, and it's not my job to change everybody's belief about everything. So, hey,
I understand, but some of her, the way she cut you off, the way she pretended like she missed certain words and then comes back all jovial and half like playing, man, you're true enough, man. We should not get on her too heavy, though. A child will be a child,
Right. Hey, man, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
All right. Listen, y'all think it's a game. Y'all think fat meat ain't greasy tonight, VOR Radio. But let me show y'all something. I don't mind. I don't mind putting y'all in my business. I wonder if y'all can see that. You see these little lines? These lines represent sales. Book sales. So let's see. I don't mind showing you. On October 6th, I sold 6 paperbacks. Right? 6 copies of my book. Some days we get one sale like that day. One digital sale, one paperback, one digital. Some days we don't sell any. You in the dig? So when I tell y'all, you guys make a difference. Let's see. Today's the 28th. We've sold 1 paperback copy today. On the 27th, we sold 2 paperback copies and 2 digital copies. Listen, bottom line is, this platform needs your support. That's it. Somebody super chatted. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. And again, it shouldn't be like pulling teeth to do that. You love the content. Y'all know it's going to be lit tonight. VOR Radio goes live. Everybody in here, it's over nearly 800 people, 750 people. Everybody in here should buy 1 book. If you already have it, buy it again. Send it to somebody. Give it to somebody who needs it. Take it to a school, a local school. Take it to a library. Support. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller. You're not online. Let's see. Caller, you're on the line.
Thank you so much.
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, you got to turn your life down, brother.
Okay. My bad about that. This is Zoe Williams?
Yes.
Oh, wow, I finally got through. All right, I'm Zell from the D. I got both of your books. I got them when they both came out.
Thank you, brother.
And I'm a big fan of the 5150. Went to go see Corey Holcomb live.
Much respect.
When he came to Detroit. And I shouted you out, too.
Thank you, brother.
About this the Dash app, okay? Because I downloaded the Dash app on my phone and everything, but when I type in VOR, Voice of Reason, it don't pop up.
Okay, so you just getting in here, so let me give you an update. It's not going to pop up until tonight when we go live for Mansions.
Okay, because on the Corey Holcomb show, you said favorite, then you'll get the notification.
No. I said the same thing I'm saying right now, good brother. And this is what I said.
Okay.
Tune in at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
You tune in at 5 p.m., we go live, and then 1.5 seconds after we go live, my logo and the button will appear.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yes. Not beforehand.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Hey, man, I appreciate
that's all
you,
I
brother.
wanted to say.
Yeah, it's all love, brother. I appreciate you reaching out.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it.
Thank you, fam.
All right, bye-bye.
Caller, you're on the line.
Hey, what up, man? How you feeling today, Zoe?
I'm alive and well. What's the deal?
Chilling. At first, I want to say, man, I thank you for being transparent and showing, like, your book sales and stuff like that, man. Because you're right, we should support you. We should have your back. We listen to your shit all the time. We get that knowledge from you. We gain from you, in other ways that we can't repay you in, man. So, besides just telling everybody else, I'm going to start contributing more myself, to what you're doing, man. We really appreciate you, man. I just want to say that first.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Yeah, man. And I kind of want to go back to the other caller, the one who was talking about he went to go see that lady. And I'm not one to, like you said, to kind of judge anybody's experience, but I know a little bit of something about these things. And all I would say to that man, if he's still listening, is, look, she may have tried to heal you. She may try to help you, or maybe you wasn't spiritually ready for it, or maybe you were scared, like she said, bro. But also that same fear is what people can take from. And if you don't know who reading you, if you don't know who working on you, fam, you exposing yourself to I don't know what. So if that's the case, go get your ass cleansed, bro. And if you don't know how to do it, man, get some olive oil, man, get some sea salt, take a bath, man, and let the water drain out, fam. Just do something to heal yourself, because you don't know what you're getting into, whether it was good or bad. If you cleanse yourself, you'll be all right. So just do that, brother, because you can't be out here getting spiritually manipulated, fam. That's not right.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate everybody calling in. Phone lines is lit. We not even on the air, and the phone lines is cracking. That's how you know you moving them, man. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Zoe? This is Jamal from Dallas.
Jamal from Dallas. What's happening, bro?
First of all, congratulations. I've been down since the Trauma and Forgiveness T-shirts. So,
yeah. Thank you, brother.
So I just want to say we're at a crisis for humanity, period. Because as Rudolph Steiner said, the human ear has been shrinking for the past few centuries. Now, it's good that he says the larynx is growing. He says all the organs have their own set of evolution. So that means it explains why now everybody has a voice, which is great. But sadly, it means that the ability of humans to listen is drastically declining. And the ability to listen is your last connection to anything feminine. So just because you have a female body don't make you a woman. Because each of us has a masculine and feminine side, and our ability to listen is femininity. Our speaking is masculinity. So we're being turned into a completely masculine society, and this is a complete affront against the whole concept of a goddess or a so-called deity.
Hey,
and
brother.
The last point I want to make, and I know you got other callers, is I want to make one last point. There's a goddess in Greek mythology named Hera.
Yes.
Now, when you look up Hera in
Zeus's
the
wife.
Indo-European, that's right.
Yeah.
When you look her up in the Indo-European etymology book, her name literally translates as hear. Hera means to hear. So I want to send this out, especially to young people, because I'm kind of in the same age group as Zoe. I'm 42. But to young people especially, because some of these old motherfuckers is a lost cause. But to some of you young people, please learn how to shut up and listen so you can receive. That's all I got, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Phone lines is lit. We only got a few minutes left. Everybody that's cash apping and super chatting, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's all I can say is I appreciate it. Again, this is how we build this platform out. I want y'all to see something. We're not even live on the radio. I want y'all to see something. Look at those lights. Phone lines is lit. Phone lines is cracking. You under dig? Phone lines are for real out here, man. Whatever we do as a collective will have the greatest impact. Whatever we do as a singular tsunami, of support, of interest, of collaboration, of cooperation, that is going to have the biggest impact. When you raising your kids, if you raising them with what I call the village voices, you surround your kids with a bunch of voices that echo some of what you have already taught them. You surround your kids with people that are smarter than you. You surround your kids with people that have your best interest and your child's best interest. Man, that's a village of cooperation. That's a village of collaboration that actually helps to raise that child. Anything that we try to do, man, we need that group, that cooperation, that collaboration. You got a new family. You marrying into a family. You're going to need that family's cooperation. You're going to need to collaborate with that family. You're starting a new business. You can't do all this shit by yourself. You're going to need to put people in key positions all over the place. Cooperation and collaboration is how anything gets done. So when I say get over there, let me see if there's an impact here. And I don't know how soon or fast these updates are. No, it still says only one book for the 28th. That's all right. But listen, go there, buy the books, give them away as gifts. It's a lot of kids, a lot of teenagers that could benefit from that book, The Relationship Dismount, how to stick the landing, We moved like a motherfucker for that Popeye's chicken. The motherfuckers made $23 million, or they got the benefit of $23 million of ad support without having to pay for it because we willing to fight and die for some chicken with extra pickles. Come on, man. If this content means something to you, get on it. Let's see who else we got here. Caller, who's on the line?
Hello, this is Desmond.
Desmond.
Yes, how you doing, Zoe?
From?
Connecticut.
Desmond from Connecticut. Welcome.
I had a question for you.
Sure.
My father is the chairman of the deacon board, and he had the pastor give a sermon saying that if you don't bring your kids to church, you will go to hell, which traumatized my 6-year-old daughter. I'm coming into knowledge of self. I definitely have learned a lot from your show over the years. And I want to know what or where should I go to heal my daughter, make her whole again, and educate my father.
Number one, it's not your responsibility to educate your father. But what you can do is take your daughter to therapy and let her, don't be afraid to go to therapy because that was a traumatic situation. And whenever you're dealing with psycho-traumatic situations, psycho always connects to somatic, the body. She'll hold it in her body somewhere. She'll react some kind of way. Take her to therapy. Let a therapist work it out. Let her understand that, God didn't say that. The Bible isn't that way. And then kind of like hitting the reset button so she can get back on her own singular path. A lot of times people in the pulpit will abuse that position and hurt people just so they can get participation.
Okay.
All right. So
thank you. I had another question.
But I'm going to say it again. Don't try to teach your father. It's way past that time.
Yeah. Thank you. Is it possible for me to get a reading?
Well, I wasn't actually doing readings today, but since you called, you called me out right now. Let me see what I got. What's the birthday, brother?
August 24th.
Oh, Virgo.
Yes.
Virgo man.
Yes.
Shit. August 24th. Let's see how this goes. Day after Kobe Bryant. What year?
1966.
66. Let's see. There you go. The card of conversation. The two of clubs. Everything about you is relationships. It's how you relate to people. Let's see. Among the people of this card, you will note a wide variety. Many are fearful of everything, especially being alone, and will do anything in their power to make sure that they are surrounded by people who admire them. All are sociable and enjoy good, stimulating conversations. Then there are those who are reclusive and appear to need no one. In truth, they are just afraid and always have one special person that they attach themselves to. Is this true?
Yeah, in a way. I'm more of the, I'm definitely out there. I do stand-up comedy, and it's basically to get the love of everyone.
Let's hear. The Ace of Spades karma card can mean an inner fear of death or change. And this explains much. These people are well endowed with many natural abilities and gifts. They can be exceptional in business and with people, preferring to work in partnerships rather than alone. You see that?
That's me.
Yeah, there's much protection surrounding this card, and they will have much to be grateful for. Oh, man, you all right. You good.
Thank you so much, though.
All right, bro. Appreciate you for calling in.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Phone lines, man. Crazy. Let's get another one. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from? Caller. Caller. All right, maybe you're not here. Cool. Caller, you're on the air. What's your name? Where you calling from? Turn your radio down.
Go, hey, Zoe, this Rob calling from out of the Bay Area, South Bay.
South Bay, what up?
Hey, man, I was seeing, first of all, keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate you. I bought your holographic relationship. As soon as I get off work, I'm about to go grab the other one.
For sure, for sure.
Do you think I can get a reading?
Now see, you do one reading and it open up and turn into a reading thing.
No, I was going to be the first one, but the nigga called already. I can't.
God damn, man.
Yeah, y'all here. It's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? Just do what you're doing. I'm just glad I got through. You know what I'm saying? I'll try to check in on Mansions or something, man.
All right, for sure, man. It's going to be lit tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for it. I'm already ready.
All right, for sure, bro.
All right, man. Keep doing your thing.
All right, bet. Caller, you're on the air. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, this Chuck don't give a fuck calling that OKC.
Chuck don't give a fuck calling out of OKC. What up?
What's up, Pimp?
What's happening, man?
Hey, man, you done met old girl before.
Have I?
You remember that girl Nene they called the 5150 show back in the day? It's Nene.
Nah, I don't remember that.
Look at that show. She probably read a couple of books, maybe watched a little Hidden Codes. Now she thinks she knows something, man. But bless her poor little heart.
Yeah, man.
I deal with little chicks like that all the time, man. I got nieces her age. You try to put a little fat meat on their head, dude, and it don't register. Then they go get some regurgitated information and come back to you like this is gold.
Right.
And it's like, go sit down, girl. I've been on this for 10 years now, you know?
Right.
What up, man? Hey, dude, I like what you're doing, man. I'm digging the new radio station, man. I will be copying my book tomorrow, man.
Thank you,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying? Go on and get that support in. And shit, dude, I'll be looking forward to when this shit launch out tonight, man.
Oh, no, we finna get crazy tonight. You already know.
Oh, man, just can't wait. I already told these folks, man, at the plantation, hey, I'm out this bitch. Ain't no working like tonight. Y'all know, hey, my Wednesdays, man. Free. Hey, if it ain't mansion, it's free, so baby, every Wednesday.
For sure, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, no problem, bro. Keep it up.
All right. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm going to turn my lights down. What's going on, bro?
Nah, you good. Your life is all right. It ain't too loud.
Because I was just listening to the previous caller, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, they stole my thunder, man. I didn't want to get a reading, but I'll get that on a later date.
Yeah.
Fellow Gemini right here. That's the last time I talked to you. I think it was post your birthday, pre my birthday, man. But I appreciate you getting in. Finally, the VR, I thought it was going what was it? I think you said originally the 19th.
Yeah.
But, man, I've been missing mansions, man.
Hey, well, it's back tonight, man. It's going to be lit, and that's when we launch Voice of Reason Radio.
And I do have my app. One thing, though, I wanted to touch on something. iStar. Are you going to be doing any content with iStar?
We are going to be doing content for iStar, myself, and I think I can't speak for Corey, but I think he might be doing some more content for that too.
Yeah, man, because I did try to reach out doing the live show last night, but there's so many of us in there trying to, say what up, though, and shout out what we shouting out, you know what I'm saying? But again, man, I appreciate getting through. And as always, as everybody else been saying, congratulations. And I got to say one thing, man, because, I agree. Mantis been kicking the women's ass, but especially with that Sarah episode when she opened up, that kind of, for me personally, notched it up a little bit. So they getting out there and they trying. So, you know what I'm saying, that was some truth that I guess you've been trying to get out of, you know what I'm saying, and maybe she kind of went TMI with it, you know what I'm saying, but I appreciated it, you know what I'm saying, but I just appreciate the content, and I will continue to support. I do got the holographic. I'm going to get the previous, how to stick the landing.
Yeah, the relationship dismount,
yeah. And I had to mention iStar because I want to support that too, all you do, man, because, again, fellow Gemini, you just got the content, and sometimes it's like you speaking my language, but ain't nobody trying to hear me, though. So I definitely try to spread the word, shout you out. Good luck tonight. I will be tuning in. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, brother.
All right, man.
All right, y'all. That's it. I'm going to get up out of here, get prepped for the show. We got 3 more hours for the show. Again, man, we've been giving out, I guess, the Cash App. The admins, moderators in here have been giving out the Cash App information. You can always use the super chat until you can't use it no more. Continue to support this brand, this platform, this movement. I'm trying to create an all-conscious radio station. Contrary to popular belief, you don't have to agree with me. I'm not even close to 100% right about anything. I love my folks. I love my peoples. That's the whole purpose of doing this. If I was in it for the money, I would be doing some mainstream, terrestrial, basic shit. The fact that I'm doing it this way, it makes it harder, makes it harder to, to live a lifestyle, all that bullshit motherfuckers talk about. But, like I said, this shit is dependent on y'all. Y'all support, y'all ride, we rise. So, once again, thanks for tuning in. Looks like the internet figured itself out. Looks like the sound is right. So I'm going to get back with you guys in 3 hours.